Cardinal batting order: Brock, Flood, Maris, Cepeda, McCarver, Shannon, Javier, Maxwell, and Gibson. The Detroit batting order is McAuliffe, Stanley, Kaline, Cash, Horton, Northrup, Matthews, Freehan, and McLain. McLain, the loser in the first game of the series last Wednesday, pitched 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, 3 hits, walked 3, struck out 3. He'll be facing Brock, Flood, and Maris in the first inning. The game will be started in a very light drizzle. The lights have been turned on. Anything else, Pee-wee?
No, Jack, not a thing else. We've held it on here. Not too bad a shape. It's been going for now about 35, 40 minutes. We had a little help from Tony Kubik, which we appreciate, and George Kell. We didn't quite get to George Kell, and he's just got through coming through our booth. I had a little trouble getting him back up here, but this game is about ready to start, so you just come right back here and tell us all about it.
Okay, Pee-wee, and as McLain digs a hole in front of the pitching rubber, and Lou Brock bats the breeze with Kurt Flood in the on-deck circle toward the Cardinal dugout, which is located down the first baseline. Bob Gibson just now comes in out of the Cardinal bullpen. He'll be ready to go. And we hope you enjoy the afternoon of baseball. Hope you enjoy our broadcast as well as the Tigers and the Cardinals meet in the 4th game of the series. Even before Lou Brock steps into the batter's box, Eddie Matthews comes in about 4 steps in front of the third base bag to guard against the bunt. But as we indicated, Brock doesn't bunt that often, and Norm Cash is playing even with the bag at first base to guard against the drag bunt. Brock has 5 out of 11. He's the leading hitter in the series thus far of those who have played with any degree of regularity. He's hit 1 home run, driven in a run, and he's stolen 6 bases. McLain into the windup, the first pitch of the ball game. High and away, ball 1. McLain with a curveball and a good running fastball, a good moving fastball if you prefer. The outfield has Brock played straight away. The next pitch to the left-handed batter, swung on and a high drive to right center field. It's well hit and may get to the wall, and it may be out of here. Home run for Lou Brock into the upper deck in right center field. Tigers found a way to keep him off base.
They certainly did, and I think Denny McLain better find a way to keep that ball down a little bit or he's going to be in trouble, Jack.
He really blasted that ball. Flood's a hitter and a ground ball to second base. McAuliffe has it at the edge of the grass and throws him out at first. And there's 1 gone with the Cardinals leading by the score of 1-0 as Lou Brock hits his 4th World Series home run. Hit 1 in 64, 1 in 67. He's hit 2 in 68. He hit that one on the second pitch of the ball game. Then Flood grounded to McAuliffe, and there's 1 out. The Cardinals lead 1-0. Whenever you think about Gibson and think about giving him a run, it's meaningful.
Did you see where that ball went, Jack?
Maris, the hitter, takes the ball low and away, ball 1. Over the 4:15 mark into the upper deck.
For a little fellow, 175 pounds, he can hit a ball as long as anyone I've ever seen.
Ball 1 to count on Maris, 1 out of 6 in the series thus far. Left-handed batter, the pitch, swung on and grounded to first baseman Cash. McLain will cover. He takes the toss and drops it. The runner's safe as McLain dropped an easy toss and a perfect toss from Norm Cash at first base. Maris is safely on, and McLain will get the error. They haven't announced it as yet, but there's no way to give anybody the error except McLain because Cash fielded a bad hop and then gave him the ball perfectly.
Oh, you're right, Jack. That ball, right at the last moment, hopped high to Norm Cash. He had to jump up to come up with it. But Norm did make a perfect throw to Denny McLain, and Denny McLain did not have a tough play. Ball hit in his glove, and he just dropped it.
And the batter is Orlando Cepeda with 3 out of 13 in the series, including a 3-run homer yesterday. A right-handed batter. Maris on at first base. There's 1 out. The ball game just started. Started with a bang off the bat of Lou Brock. A home run. The pitch to Cepeda is a ball outside a breaking ball. The Cardinal dugout erupted as Brock touched that one off. Now Maris is on as a result of the error, and the pitch is made to Cepeda, and it's a strike call. The Cardinals were complaining, Pee-wee, about McLain's move with a runner on first base, that he wasn't pausing at the belt, the balk that they used to call.
Well, he stops a couple of times, and that's which is illegal, but he's doing everything he can to keep these runners from stealing on him, and you can hardly blame him if he can get away with it.
Cepeda takes the ball a little bit inside, and it's ball 2, 2-1. Brock hit the home run. Flood grounded to McCullough. McLain dropped the ball, covering first, and Maris is safely on with one out. A 2-ball, 1-strike count on Cepeda. The rain is all but stopped here. The pitch coming. Swung on, fouled back. He couldn't wait for the curveball. Cepeda got out in front and fouled it. And it's 2-2. Tiger outfield playing just a bit to the left for Cepeda and deep. The infield in normal position. Matthews, Stanley, McCullough, with Cash holding Maris at first. McLain pitches, and it's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. A foul tip, and Freehan held on to it, and that's the second out of the inning. And that's the pitch that they were complaining about, the quick pitch, Stevie. He got that ball by Cepeda for the second out and his first strikeout.
Yes, he did, and you'll notice Denny McLain, if he's right, he'll be coming from all over. He comes from the top three-quarter sidearm, and he throws these, mostly when he drops down with his arm, he'll throw a fastball. But on that pitch, he dropped down and threw a slider. They just got that outside corner.
Maris is at first base with 2 out now, and the batter is Tim McCarver. He's 3 for 12 in the series. The pitch coming, and it's a ball, a breaking ball that went inside just off the plate, ball 1. McCarver hit a key 3-run homer in the ball game yesterday, hit 5 home runs during the regular season. Left-handed batter facing the right-hander McLain. Maris at first, 2 out. Cardinals lead 1-0 first inning, and the pitch. Strike called, a real hummer that time, and McLain threw his best pitch, it appeared to me. That evens it at 1-1. Bill Freehan behind the plate. Gives the sign to his right-hander. And the 1-1 delivery. Fastball, base hit, left center field. And Maris makes the turn. He'll go to third without a play. Willie Horton comes up with the ball, gets it into second, and first and third with 2 out. As McCarver lined one over the head of Stanley at shortstop. Shannon is the hitter with 2 on, 2 out. The error has not hurt McLain as yet. Shannon will determine whether or not it will. Mike with 4 homers and 4 hits in this series. No homers, 1 RBI. During the regular season, led the Cardinals and runs batted in with 79 and hit 15 home runs. First and third, 2 out. From the belt, the pitch. Curve fouled back as Shannon got out in front and fouled the ball. Strike 1. McLain took something off that ball. There's the first changeup that he has shown us.
He has a good changeup, Jack, on his fastball and also his curveball.
And he's out in front of Mike Shannon. Then he shakes off the sign from Freehan. Now he's ready. And pitches. Fastball, strike called. He hummed another one in there. Strike 2. Shannon is quickly in the hole, 0-2. The on-deck circle is Javier. Shannon, the number 6 man in the Cardinal batting order. Maris on at third. McCarver on at first. 2 out. First inning. Brock homered, and it's 1-0. McLain pitches to Shannon, and a bouncing ball. Tough play for the second baseman. Shortstop Stanley throws. Safe, and a run scored. A run scored as Stanley could not throw Shannon out on a high hopper over the head of the pitcher McLain. Crossing the plate was Maris. The error did hurt, and the score is 2-0 as McCarver stopped at second base.
Well, Jack, there's where that speed helps you. Shannon, that ball was not hit hard. It was a high hopper over McLain's head. The only fellow that had a chance to throw out Shannon, it was, of course, the shortstop. Mickey Stanley, he was coming right at the ball. He had good stuff on the ball. It was a close play at first, but Shannon beat it. The second run for the Cardinals.
The batter is Javier. He's had 4 hits. The Cardinals now lead 2-0 here in the first inning. Javier batted .260 during the regular season, a right-handed batter. He takes a fastball in on him. He had to jump out of the way. Stevie, it's an impression that you could confirm or deny, but it appears to me that Stanley didn't get rid of the ball as most shortstops would, most regular shortstops would.
Well, this is the one thing that will give Mickey a little trouble. He is playing shortstop on those quick plays like that. You must get rid of the ball in a hurry.
And it might have cost him the out and the run. McLain pitches. Javier swings and fouls it off the foot of the catcher Freehan, and it evens up the count at 1-1. It's a 2-0 ball game here in the first inning. St. Louis has men on at first and second. Shannon, the runner, at first. McCarver at second, 2 out. Javier, the number 7 hitter in the lineup, at the plate with a 1-1 count. Outfield plays him to pull just a bit. Northrup is in a step in center field. McLain taking a little time now. Runners lead away with normal leads. The pitch. Sidearm. Curve. Swinging him at strike two. Javier is vulnerable to sidearm pitching.
That was a good pitch by McLain. He took a little bit off of that sidearm curveball. He got it in a good spot. The only time you get hurt on that pitch is when you get it inside, but he just got that outside corner. Javier bent a little bit in the middle, and when you do that, you're dead.
McLain has one strikeout here in the first inning, and he has Javier set up with a 1-2 count. McLain looking in. Ready. Javier waits. He takes a curve, and he's called out on strikes. McLain dropped a curveball in there for his second strikeout. Javier out on strikes. 1/2 inning has gone by. The score, St. Louis 2 and Detroit 0. In that Cardinal first inning, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 Detroit error, which cost the Tigers a run and 2 men left. Brock homered. Maris reached on an error, advanced on a base hit by McCarver, and scored on an infield hit by Shannon. The leadoff hitter is Dick McAuliffe for the Tigers with 5 hits already in the series. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Bob Gibson. Gibson and McCarver, the Cardinal battery. Shannon at third, Maxville short, Javier second, Cepeda at first. Brock in left, Flood in center, and Maris in right. Tony Cuccinello coaching at third, and Wally Moses at first for the Tigers. And McAuliffe steps into the batter's box and gets set. Gibson into the windup. He fires, and it's a strike call to fastball.
He wastes no time in getting that ball over the plate, doesn't he?
And he wastes no time either in making his next pitch. As soon as the hitter is set, here he comes. Here he comes. Swung on, ground ball to Cepeda. Gibson covers. Cepeda makes the play himself. 1 out. McAuliffe grounds out. Cepeda unassisted. And so Gibson got the leadoff man, whereas Denny McLain did not. The hitter, Mickey Stanley. No homers, no RBIs in the series. 3 hits in the Fall Classic. Hit 11 home runs during the regular season. Strong right-handed batter for whom they play straight away in the Cardinal outfield. Shannon 3 steps behind the bag at third. 2-0, the Cardinals lead. Tigers batting for the first time. First pitch to Stanley. Mickey swings, fouls the ball near the stand. Cepeda might have a play. He does have a play. He grabs the ball, 2 out. A foul ball caught by Cepeda off the bat of Stanley, and 2 quick outs here in the Tiger first. One thing about Cepeda, we talked about the fielding of Norm Cash yesterday, who usually leads the American League in fielding. Al Kaline stepping into the batter's box. Cepeda, when he wasn't hitting, proved what a good defensive first baseman he was, Pee Wee.
Well, Cepeda surprises. Not only is he a good defensive ball player, he has good speed for a big fellow.
Swing and a miss by Kaline.
This fellow has a remarkable stolen base record.
Al Kaline, who hit a dramatic home run here yesterday, is at the plate. Right-handed batter fouls one out of play to the roof of the ballpark, and it's strike 2. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Cardinals. The game delayed some 35 minutes at the outset. And Gibson out in front of Kaline 0-2. In the on-deck circle, Norm Cash. Gibson delivers, and Kaline swings and fouls back a high pitch. He had a good cut at a high pitch, and it's still strike 2.
Well, if there's any doubt about Gibson having his stuff and pitching with 3 days rest or his arm bothering him, it doesn't look like it. Because any time you see batters fouling that ball straight back, you know he has a good fastball.
Gibson shakes off the sign and now comes to the plate, and Al Kaline takes a ball low, 1-2. That was a breaking ball. Gibson will go through a ball game and throw no more than 6 curveballs. Many times his slider, which breaks so much, will look like a curveball. So we'll simply call it a breaking pitch when we are able to determine that it was. 1-2 the count, and the next one. Swung on and fouled out of the glove of McCarver at the feet of the catcher, and Kaline is still alive. Al Kaline, who had never played in a World Series prior to this one, hit a home run yesterday. He's had 4 hits in the series. The pitch to him coming from Gibson, and a shot to right center field. Who's going to get it? Flood on the run, on the run, on the run, and he can't get it off his glove. Maris gets it, and Kaline's going to get a double with 2 men out. Al Kaline with a two-out double. Went the other way, hit the ball into right center, went off the glove of Curt Flood, who just simply couldn't get there. Maris was fortunate to get the rebound and hold Kaline to a double. The batter is Norm Cash. He's hit one home run in the series, and if he could touch one off here, it'd tie it up. The Cardinals lead 2-0. The pitch. Swung on, and he chased a bad ball. It went low.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch. Tim McCarver, the catcher for the Cardinals, said, I don't believe a club can change their swing from swinging hard at Gibson and trying to just meet the ball. Norm Cash said that he was going to do it. He had very bad luck against Gibson in the first game. Let's see what happens in this game.
Cash hit 25 home runs this year. One in the series thus far. The pitch coming, and it's low for a ball. It's 1-1. Kaline might have tipped us off that some of the hitters would be going the other way on Gibson with his double into right center. He's on second with 2 out. The pitch to Norm Cash, and it's low and away, ball 2.
Jack talking about Kaline going to right field sometime against Gibson. You go to right field whether you want to or not.
Cash out in front of the pitcher. 2 balls and a strike. Gibson checks the runner, fires, and it's low, 3-1. And now this predominantly Tiger crowd is flying high and roaring on every pitch. A 3-1 count, and Cash will be looking for his pitch. Kaline at second, 2 out. First inning, 2-0 Cardinals. A 3-1 delivery. On the way, curveball in there, slider perhaps, 3-2.
This is what makes Gibson such a great pitcher. When he gets behind a hitter like Norm Cash, he did not come with that fastball. As you said, he threw a breaking pitch and got it over. Let's see what he throws in 3-2.
And the 3-2 pitch is coming, and it is a fastball, and he's struck him out. Cash down swinging. Tigers leave a man on at the end of 1 inning. St. Louis 2, Detroit 0.
The Cardinals lead in this ball game as they came up with 2 big runs in the first inning for Bob Gibson. And it's 2-0 in the first hitter for the Cardinals. Darryl Maxwell, a shortstop. Jack?
Maxwell looking for his first series hit. He's 0 for 9. Batted .252 during the regular campaign with 1 home run. Slender fellow, right-handed batter. McLain, the right-hander, comes to him with the first pitch. It's a strike call and a curveball, and the second inning is underway. Maxwell. A glance back at the umpire. Maxwell, Gibson, and Brock will hit in this inning. Matthews even with the bag at third. The outfield shallow and straight away. Strike call. That was the fastball. That's 2 of them. McLain quickly out in front of Darryl Maxwell. The Cardinals reached McLain for 3 hits in the first inning, including Brock's home run. Single by McCarver, infield hit by Shannon. Maxwell takes strike call. He's out of there. 3 pitches, and Maxwell becomes the 3rd strikeout victim of the Tiger right-hander. Bob Gibson comes to the plate. The sporting Detroit crowd, along with the Cardinal rooters, are on hand. Give Gibson a hand. Some don't. The pitch coming. Gibby takes the ball low. Gibson strong, can swing the bat. Drove in 6 runs this year and batted .170. They respect his hitting. They're deep around to the left in the Tiger outfield. Gibson swings and misses to even the count at 1-1. One thing about these 2 pitchers, if they both stay for the whole game, we won't have the 3-hour game that we had yesterday. They're both very rapid workers. The next one to Gibson with 1 out is a curve and a swing and a miss. And McLain has established his drinking ball here, Pee Wee, in his off-speed pitching.
Yes, he has. It looks to me like McLain, as you say, when he has his confidence, he has his pitches, he'll pitch fast. I thought he took a little more time over in St. Louis, and that shows that he didn't have too much confidence.
He brings it again. There's a ground ball to the hole to Stanley. Up with the ball and throwing, and he's out by a step. Gibson is out. 6-3, Stanley to Cash, and there are 2 men gone. Again, Pee Wee, as we observe him, I guess we should give our impressions. Stanley doesn't get rid of the ball like most shortstops you see playing every day in the Major League.
Notice, too, it looks to me like he's throwing the ball a little bit more sidearm. Of course, that ball sinks a little bit. But taking everything in consideration, Jack, I'm sure he's done a terrific job out there. Terrific amount of pressure on him.
Here's Lou Brock, who homered his first time up, and a curveball goes into the dirt, ball 1. Brock now has 6 out of 12 in the series, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, and he's stolen 6 bases. He's at the plate with 2 outs. Matthews in front of the bag at third. The pitch coming, curveball, ground ball. Second baseman McCullough is up with it. He'll throw him out. He does. The Cardinals down in order in the second inning, and at the end of an inning and a half, St. Louis 2 and the Tigers nothing.
Cardinals over the Tigers. The first batter for the Tigers in the bottom half of the second inning will be Willie Horton, followed by Jim Northrup and Eddie Matthews. Jack Buck.
The Tigers have sluggers and heroes up and down their lineup. And Willie Horton, who blasted 36 home runs this year to lead the Tigers in that department with 85 runs batted in. Strong right-handed batter steps in to hit against Bob Gibson here in the Tigers' second. First pitch from Gibson to Horton is a ball that goes into the dirt. And back to the screen for ball 1. Outfield deep to the left with Brock only about 3 steps from the warning track in front of the screen. Flood in left center. Maris off the line in right. The pitch coming, and Horton takes a ball outside, ball 2. In the first inning, Al Kaline became a base runner when he doubled. Cash struck out to end the inning. It's raining very lightly but steadily here at Tiger Stadium, Detroit. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Willie Horton, the batter. Northrup and Matthews will follow. Gibson into the windup, and on 2-0, he delivers. It's high, ball 3. In the opening game of the series, when Gibson struck out 17, he walked only 1. Gave up 5 hits. He's 3-0 on Horton. If he loses him, it'll bring up a home run threat and a left-handed batter, Jim Northrup. The pitch coming, and it's a ball. Willie Horton walks to start the second inning. And the batter is Jim Northrup, who's 1 for 12. 21 home runs during the year. A left-handed batter. They play him deep, and they play him to pull just a bit. Cepeda will be playing behind Willie Horton at first base. Gibson will work off the stretch. He does, and he pitches. Northrup swings, fly ball, left field. Brock waiting for it. Now coming in under the ball and makes the catch for the out. Northrup lined to left on the first pitch as it didn't get around on the Gibson fastball. The batter is Eddie Matthews. Matthews has hit against Gibson many times. Cepeda still playing behind the runner at first. Outfield around to the right for Matthews. The pitch from Gibson. Swung on, fouled off the umpire's chest protector. Strike 1. Matthews went up there swinging but didn't get it. We're in the bottom of the second inning. The Cardinals scored 2 in the first. 1 on a home run by Lou Brock, and the Cardinals lead the Tigers 2-0. And Matthews would like to tie it up. Horton the lead. The next delivery is inside, and it pops out of the glove of McCarver. And it's 1-1. Gibson wanted to know where that ball went. It was off the glove of McCarver and off the arm of the Cardinal catcher. A ball and a strike. Horton takes this shortly. Gibson delivers, and a fastball is fouled back, and Matthews had his best cut that time. He's in the hole, 1-2.
I would say for a fellow who has not been playing too much, he had 2 real good cuts there. He was out in front of the ball, had his pitch, but just couldn't make good contact.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Gibson delivers, and a line drive base hit into left field. Fielded on 1 out by Maris. Horton stops at second, and the Tigers have the tying runs on. Here in the second inning. Horton at second base and Eddie Matthews at first with only 1 out, and Bill Freehan the batter. He's 0 for 9 in the series, a right-handed hitter. Gibson delivers, and it's a strike call, a good pitch after the. Gibson had 20 on that one. Freehan hit 25 home runs during the year. If he could reach the seats, the Tigers would suddenly be in front. Meanwhile, the Cardinal infield looking for the double play ball. The pitch coming from Gibson. Freehan swings and misses. Strike two. The pitcher will be up next, Denny McLain. That was a slider, and Freehan didn't get it. Horton and Matthews on the bases. Carver gives the sign. 0-2 the count, the pitch, and he held up on a half swing, and they come charging out of the Cardinal dugout. And Gibson halfway to the pitch to the plate to argue with the plate umpire, Bill Kinnaman.
Well, that's a tough play for the umpire, Bill Kinnaman, to call. The only thing you can tell whether he broke his wrist or not, Bill Freehan did start his swing. He may have held it up. Base umpire Bill Kinnaman said he did.
And Freehan is still alive with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 2 on, 1 out, second inning, 2-0 St. Louis. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Ball 2. 2-2. And Freehan had trouble laying off that one.
I just noticed Jackie Robinson put it away with Vice President Humphrey. He was shaking his head. I think Jackie called that one a strike.
2 on, only 1 out, 2-2 on the hitter, Freehan. He waits, stands very close to the plate. The pitch coming, and it is high, 3-2. Called as Red Cheney comes out of the Cardinal dugout. As he does, we pause 30 seconds for station identification.
WJR Detroit.
This is Bill Freehan. Moving air is simple, but controlling it takes an expert. There are 200 expert air handling contractors in the Better Heating and Cooling Bureau.
Start your day with the bright sounds of WJR's Music Hall program hosted by J.P. McCarthy. J.P. opens each weekday morning at 6 and continues until 9. Along the way, he may talk to anyone from a computer to a commuter, all light and easy to listen to. J.P. McCarthy and the Music Hall, 6 to 9 weekdays on WJR.
It was a very brief one. Probably said, don't let the umpire bother you. 2 on, 1 out. 3-2 on Freehan. Cardinals leading 2-0, second inning. Gibson ready, crowd roaring, the pitch, and a foul back. He reached for a pitch and barely got a piece of it. It's still 3-2, and Freehan is hanging tough against the hard-throwing Cardinal right-hander Bob Gibson.
I know everyone would like to see Bill Freehan, especially the Tiger fans and also the players on the Tigers. So the longer he goes, the harder it is for him to get a base hit.
3-2 the count. Gibson has to continue to throw strikes or load them up. Here's the pitch, and it's strike call. Freehan called out on a fastball over the outside corner. That's Gibson's second strikeout. The runners stay at first and second. They're 2 gone, and Denny McLain is the batter. Gibson got the strikeout in the first when he needed it. He fanned Cash, and he got a big one when he got Freehan, and he pitches to McLain on a high foul ball backing out of play as McLain had a cut at the first one. And then the Tigers second. Cardinals lead 2-0, but Detroit has the tying runs on with 2 men out. McLain trying to help his own cause. He throws right, bats right, and he waits. Here it comes, and it's a pitch blown away. A breaking ball makes it 1-1. And Gibson had a little grin on his face after that pitch, as if he thought he might have had the corner. It's a ball and a strike. The next delivery. High foul, might stay in play near the stand. Cepeda's got a crack at it and catches the ball over his head. Almost overran it. The inning is over. The Tigers leave 2 on. McLain fouls to Cepeda at the end of 2 innings. St. Louis 2, Detroit nothing.
The Cardinals, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. The Tigers, no runs on 2 hits and 1 error. We're going in the top half of the third inning. The first hitter for the Cardinals will be Curt Flood. Jack?
Flood grounded out to the right side his first time up after Brock had started the game with a home run. McLain pitches to the right-handed hitter, and a base hit to right. There was a high pitch, and Flood went the other way and singled and picks up his 5th hit of the series. The rain increases in intensity just a bit as the 3rd inning starts. The hitter, Roger Maris. Base knocked by Flood was the 4th Cardinal hit of the day.
Seems like every time Denny gets that ball up, somebody hits a line drive.
Maris reached on an error his first time up as McLain dropped a throw at first base, and it cost the Tigers a run. Roger with 1 out of 7 in the series now. Flood a lead. Here's the pitch, and a foul out of play as Maris tried to go the other way that time. Tried to go into left field with the ball and fouled it. Flood is fast down at first base, but Pee-wee, he's not really one of the best base runners or base stealers in the game for a fellow who possesses his speed.
Now, I would say that Kurt is very strong on going from first to third or from second to home, but as far as stealing bases, he cannot get the jump that a fellow like Brock can, or who can, to tell you the truth.
Cash holds against Flood, and the pitch coming to Maris. It's up for a ball, 1-1. It's raining harder now than it was. It's raining about as hard now as it was when they delayed the game for 35 minutes. And it's to the point now where the umpires probably could call this and hold it up for a while. The pitch coming. Swung on and a shot to right center by Maris. Northrup going back. Gets there, makes the catch. Flood has to retrace his steps, get back to first. He does. He's there with 1 man out. Northrup made a very strong throw from center field to try to get Flood. Flood had to make sure that he touched second base on the way back because he had rounded the bag.
Yes, he had. Jack Kurt thought that ball was in there. Northrup went a long way to get it. Flood had already rounded second. When he came back, he made sure he touched the bag. Northrup threw the ball all the way to Cash, but the time he got to Cash, he was so far out there, didn't have anything on it. Cepeda, the hitter.
Orlando struck out his first time up. He's 3 for 14 in the series. Right-handed batter. Flood at first, 1 out. The pitch. Swung on, popped up. That'll be the 2nd out. It's a foul ball, and Norm Cash tracks it down. Tiger first baseman has it. 2 men gone. Cepeda's 0 for 2 as he fouls out to Norm Cash. And the batter is Tim McCarver. Raining quite hard now, but it appears, Pee-wee, that they have their collective minds made up that this game is going to continue.
Well, it's in the umpire's hand right now, and I think it's going to have to rain a lot harder than this for them to call a ball game. The umbrellas are up, and the people are seated. They want to see a ball game, and I believe they are.
Runner at first, Flood, 2 men out. McCarver, the batter, singled his first time up. He has 4 out of 13 in the series. Flood a lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and another base hit for McCarver into left center field, and it gets by, and the run's going to score. It goes to the wall, and Flood rounds third. He scores to make it 3-0. McCarver going for 3. He's in standing up with a triple. Tim McCarver with a 2-out triple here in the 3rd inning makes it 3-0. That's his 2nd hit of the ballgame.
They say that McCarver hits left-handers better than he does right-handers. He's hit 2 line shots to left field, and that's where most of his power is. But yesterday, he had a real good pitch. It looked to me like the ball was about 6 inches off of the home plate, and he pulled it in the right field seat.
That's the 2nd triple for McCarver in the series. And Mike Shannon is the batter. He had an infield hit his first time up. McCarver at third, 2 out, 3-0 Cardinals. Curveball, ground ball, fair ball. Another run is home. An extra base hit for Shannon into the corner. McCarver has scored, and Shannon has a stand-up double, and it's 4-0. And there's that sidearm curveball we talked about, but this time McLain did get it inside. Pee-wee?
Yes, he did, and I imagine that just about this time right now, the rain is coming down harder, and I'm sure that the Tigers and manager Mayo Smith coming out, not too surprised if they'd like to see it rain a little bit harder.
Yost Pharma, a right-hander, is warming up down in the Tiger bullpen. Mayo Smith to the mound. McCarver, with a 2-out triple, drove home the 3rd run of the game here in this 3rd inning. Then Shannon really lashed a curveball that was in on him, hit it sharply between Matthews and the bag, fair by about a foot and down into the bullpen, and makes it 4-0. And now the umpire at home, Bill Kinnaman, is out to see if he can hustle along the conference, which is now concluded, and McLain stays in. The pitch to Javier. There have been 6 Cardinal hits in the ball game. A home run, triple, and double included. Javier fanned his first time. He'll try to pick Shannon up off second base. The pitch from McLain. High fastball, ball one. We're in the third inning, and it's raining very hard now. It's raining as hard now as it has rained all day in Detroit. It's a 4-0 ball game. McLain to the plate. A curve is outside, and that's ball two. Joe Sparma, a right-hander, is throwing in the bullpen, and he's ready if and when he's needed by Mayo Smith. McLain swings that pitching arm around to loosen up. Now delivers on 2-0, and a swing and a miss by Javier. 2 balls and a strike. The run driven in by Shannon was his second of the series. The one by McCarver was his fourth. And the rain increases in intensity. Javier awaits the pitch coming. It's low and away, and that makes it 3-1 with Dal Maxville in the on-deck circle. The Cardinals 2 in the first, 2 in the third. Still batting here in the third with a chance to get more. McLain working on Javier with a 3-1 count. He pitches. Curve. Outside. Ball 4. He walks him, and that for McLain is his first walk of the ball game. And now, the umpires have called time. They huddle at the mound. They might hold the game up and put the cover on. They're going to. With the Cardinals leading 4-0 here in the third inning. And with men on at first and second and 1 out. And McLain about to pitch to Maxville. The plate umpire, Bill Kinnaman, called his fellow umpires. There are 5 others. They met at the mound. He wanted to know if they agreed with him that the field should be covered. They all nodded yes, it's being covered. And I agree up here, don't you, Pee-wee?
I would think so. I imagine the umpires right now. Of course, Bill Kinnaman behind home plate. He is the umpire-in-chief since he's behind home plate. And it's coming down quite hard right now. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to get that tarp on there before it rains too hard or too long, hoping that it will stop in a few minutes and it'll save the game. If they keep trying to play the game in this kind of rain, the field may get too wet and someone may get injured. So I think it was a wise move, Jack.
The rain caused this game to be held up for 35 minutes at the outset. And the field was covered all the while, that is the infield. So the tarp is wet. It'll take a little time for the ground crew to get the infield covered, but they should get it done before the playing field becomes treacherous. And when the rain abates, it's a good word, isn't it? We should be able to resume, if it does let up.
It's a good word, Jack. I don't know what it means.
Mike Shannon goes down to second base. Before he went down there, Shandy's grabbed him. Says 2 out, Mike. And that's what there are. The runner on at first base is Javier. The batter will be Dal Maxville. And the plate umpire, Bill Kinnaman, goes to the mound to talk to the new Tiger pitcher, who is Joe Sparma. They need a dry rosin bag, and evidently that's the only thing that's holding up the resumption of the ball game at this point. So it's Joe Sparma replacing Denny McLain, who had pitched 2 2/3 innings, allowed 4 runs, leaves 2 men on base. He'd be accountable for those. 6 hits, he struck out 3. He walked 1. It's Sparma and Freehand forming the battery. Eddie Matthews at third. Stanley at short. McAuliffe at second. Cash at first. Horton in left. Center fielder Northrup. And the right fielder Al Kaline. A very light miss as the game continues. Sparma is announced to the crowd, hence the reaction. And Dal Maxville, who is 0 for 10 in the series, is at the plate. He's a right-handed batter. Sparma, a right-hander, will work off the stretch. Last delay was about an hour and 15 minutes. Cardinals lead 4-0 third inning. The pitch from Sparma to Maxville goes low for a ball. And this 4th game of the World Series is underway once more. It must go. 1 hour and 13 minutes was the delay. This game has to go through the 5th inning in order to be an official contest. Sparma with a 1-ball count on Maxville delivers again. And it goes up and in, and that's ball 2. In the on-deck circle is Bob Gibson. In this inning, the Cardinals have scored twice. They're 2 on, 2 out. It's a 4-0 ball game. Shannon leads off second, Javier off first. Cardinals have good speed on the base paths, and on 2-0, Maxwell swings and fouls it back. A good low pitch from Sparmer. Joe Schultz coaching at third base for St. Louis, and Dick Sisler at first. The Tiger bullpen crew stirs out in the left field corner. Maxwell waiting, trying to add to the 4-0 score. Sparmer trying to get out of the jam he inherited. Pitches. Swung on and a smash on one hop to McAuliffe. Knocks it down. Throws to first. Out. As Cash took it out of the dirt and the inning is over. A hard hit ball right at McAuliffe. The Cardinals lead 2 on. The Tigers bat in the third. The score, St. Louis 4, Detroit 0.
Well, we're going in the bottom half of the third inning. Bob Gibson on the mound, taking his warm-up pitches to Tim McCarver. Bill Kinnaman gives the sign, let's play ball. Dick McAuliffe will be the first hitter, followed by Mickey Stanley and Al Kaline. To tell you all about it, Jack Buck.
McAuliffe grounded out in the first inning, and he is 5 out of 14 in the series. It's the top of the batting order. McAuliffe, Stanley, and Kaline coming up against Bob Gibson here in the bottom of the third inning. The Cardinal right-hander delivers, the left-handed batter fouls it back, and the Tiger third is underway. I think it's significant that the leadoff hitters are showing the way for both ball clubs in total hits. McAuliffe with 5, Brock now with 6. Little damp around the home plate area. McAuliffe takes a while to dig in, and now Gibson delivers, and it's a breaking ball which goes low inside, and it's 1-1. McCarver behind the plate. An infield of Shannon, Maxwell, Javier, and Cepeda. Brock in left, Flood in center, and Maris in right, and they play McAuliffe to pull. Hit a home run here yesterday. The pitch coming. It went low, and that's ball 2, 2-1. Every pitch, every out, every inning is now critical with the weather being what it is. And a 4-0 Cardinal lead. The next delivery to Dick McAuliffe. It's a strike and a hummer that time, 2-2, and Gibson didn't appear to lose anything, Pee-wee.
Well, that removes all doubt in my mind right there, Jack. He has a real good fastball.
He really blistered that one past McAuliffe. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the next delivery on the way, and it's swung on and missed, and he struck him out. So Gibson picks up right where he left off as he attempts to answer the big question right now: what will the rain delay do to him? Of course, if the contest goes the distance, it might be a different story. The batter is Mickey Stanley, fouled out his first time. Right-handed batter with 3 out of 13 in the series. A straightaway hitter, according to the Cardinal outfield. They give him left center. The pitch coming outside and a bit low, ball 1. Every seat occupied once again, despite the rain. Gibson comes to the plate once more, and Stanley takes a ball, and that's ball 2. Gibson had a quizzical look on his face and at the plate umpire. He falls behind 2-0. 1 out, nobody on. Third inning, 4-0. The Cardinals leading the Tigers. The pitch. Stanley taking all the way, took a strike. With the score 4-0, the take sign was on, evidently. Tony Cuccinello coaching at third base, and Wally Moses at first for the Tigers. Getting cooler here in Detroit. The next delivery, Mickey swings and misses a high fastball. That's 2-2.
Mickey Stanley has 3 hits in this series. 2 off Bob Gibson.
And he had 11 home runs during the regular season while batting .259 and patrolling center field in championship style. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to him. He's up in the front of the plate as the pitch comes from Gibson, and a strike is called. He's out of there. Mickey Stanley is called out on strikes, and Gibson now has 4 strikeouts in the ballgame. And he seems to be throwing harder now than he was at the outset of the game, Pee-wee.
Yes, he does, and I'm sure that Dick McAuliffe and Mickey Stanley will go along with that.
And now the batter, Al Kaline, and a foul back on the first pitch onto the screen. Strike 1. Kaline doubled into right center his first time. 2 out, nobody on. Third inning, 4-0 Cardinals. They've out hit the Tigers 6-2. Kaline, a foul back out of play again once more, and it's strike 2. Gibson, who has fanned the first 2, is in a spot to strike out the side as he's 0-2 on Kaline. A very light mist, a steady mist falls at Tiger Stadium. Gibson into the windup, and here is his pitch, and it's low and away for a ball. You put a clock on Bob Gibson between pitches. If the hitter will let him, he'll go about 8 or 10 seconds between each pitch. Here's the next one to Al Kaline, and he swings and fouls another one back. New ball returned to the mound. Kaline steps out of the batter's box, knocks the dirt out of his spikes. Kaline gets set, and Gibson goes into the windup. The next pitch is high, and Kaline goes down as Gibson took a little something off that pitch. You don't see him changing speeds very often, Pee-wee, but he tried to let up that time.
No, you don't. And he was talking about Al Kaline the other day, that Al Kaline looks for a curveball with men on.
The 2-2 is a line drive in the left field corner. Foul ball by a foot, and Kaline just missed his second double of the ball game. He just did what you just said, Pee-wee. He was waiting for the breaking ball. Gibson got it up and in. Kaline fell back and ripped it, but it curved foul by about a foot, and it's still 2-2.
Well, it's nice to see a fellow like Al Kaline who waited so long to get in this series. You just kind of halfway pull for him to have a real fine series.
Gibson goes to work again, and the pitch is on the way, and it's low for a ball 3. 4-0, the Cardinals lead. 2 out, nobody on. Kaline the batter, Cash on deck. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the pitch is on the way from Gibson to Kaline, and a ground ball to short to the left of Maxwell, base hit into center field. Kaline has his second hit of the day. Makes the turn at first. He's grounded one into center, and he's 2 for 2. Cash comes up with a man on. That's a third base hit off of Bob Gibson, and Al Kaline has 2 of them, a single and a double. Eddie Matthews has the other, a single. Cash struck out his first time up. The Tiger first baseman, a left-handed batter. They play him to pull. He blasted 25 home runs this year. He waits deep in the batter's box. The pitch on the way, and it's a strike called in the outside corner. Gibson cuts the ball away from the southpaw swinger and gets out in front. Gibson checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Cash takes it low, 1-1. With a 4-0 lead, Cepeda can afford to play behind the runner at first base, which he's doing. 2 men out, guarding against the left-handed batter, Cash. The 1-1 delivery from Gibson to Cash is on the way, and it's swung on a line drive, caught by Cepeda in foul territory, and the inning is over. Cash fouled out to Cepeda. Tigers lead 1 at the end of 3. The Cardinals lead Detroit 4-0. Joe Sparma, who finished the 3rd inning, retiring 1 man, will pitch the 4th of the Cardinals with Bob Gibson leading off. The Cardinals about hit the Tigers 6-3. Cardinal fans and Tiger fans applaud Bob Gibson as he comes up. The score is 4-0. St. Louis over Detroit as we start the 4th inning. And Pee-wee Reese will tell you all about it.
Okay, Jack, thank you very much. Joe Sparma getting any signs from Bill Freehan. We're in the top half of the 4th inning at Tiger City, and it is dark. A curveball high, ball 1. Denny McLain started for the Tigers. He went 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, and struck out 3. The 1-0 pitch to Gibson. Foul, straight back.
Tigers prepare 2 pitchers in their bullpen. Left-hander John Hiller, right-hander Darrell Patterson are up and throwing.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Mayo Smith use quite a few pitches today, trying to get back in this ball game. Every opportunity, I'm sure you put a pinch hitter in for the pitcher. The 1-1 pitch to Bob Gibson, a fastball in there, a foul strike 2. Joe Sparma, as I said before, if he has control, he is a tough pitcher. Got a real good fastball, good breaking ball. Here's the pitch, curveball, hit out in the left field. That ball could be gone. It's a home run for Bob Gibson. I guess he can do it all. Bob Gibson just hit a home run in the left field seat. He did not hit one during the season. Here he has hit one in the World Series. He hit one in the World Series last year. Lou Brooks, look out. we're still here. We lost our producer, Mr. Lynn Dillon. There was a foul ball came right back in our booth, and it was hit hard by Lou Brock. One strike on him. There's a ball hit off the left over our heads. Makes the count no balls and 2 strikes. We're in the top half of the 4th inning, and the Cardinals lead in this ball game by a score of 5-0. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and they've scored 1 here in the top half of the 4th inning on Bob Gibson's home run. Lou Brock hit a home run in the first inning. Fastball high inside. Ball 1. The Tigers have 3 hits. They have no runs. Al Kalan has 2 of the 3 hits. The one in Newt hit. Lou Brock, that ball was hit hard out in the right center. No one's going to catch up with that ball. It's going to be right off the 15-foot sign. Here comes Brock. Brown in second. They better hurry it in. He may go all the way. The McCullough, the cutoff man out in center field, throws the ball to Bill Freehand, and Brock holds on it here with a stand-up triple. Let's pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Lou Brock is just tripled, and that brought Mayo Smith out of the dugout. He calls for a right-hander, Darrell Patterson, and we told you was warming up. He comes in out of the bullpen to pitch to Kurt Flood with a runner at third base. There's nobody out in the inning. Gibson started it with a home run. And oddly, Pee-wee, Farmer was ahead of both hitters with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. But he lost Gibson with a home run, and Brock with the triple.
Well, the 52 to Gibson was a high curveball, and Bob looks like he kind of jumped at the ball. And as you said, Gibson is not a bad hitter for a pitcher. Has good power. Joe Farmer leading the ball game. Darrell Patterson, who looked so sharp yesterday. He's a young pitcher. Goes right-handed. Has an exceptional fastball. Good curveball. And one of the young pitchers we were talking about during the rainout that the Tigers have in that bullpen. Mayo Smith now leading, and Darrell Patterson taking his warm-up pitches. Kurt Flood will be the next hitter, and Roger Maris on deck.
Patterson was one of 5 pitchers used yesterday by the Tigers. He pitched 1 inning, allowed no runs, no hits, struck out none, and walked none, and looked very sharp. But then, with the Tigers trailing in the game, Mayo Smith had to derrick him in a hurry for a pinch hitter. And so we saw Patterson only briefly. His record for the year, 2-3 in relief, and a 2.12 earned run average, which is quite good for a pitcher coming in out of the bullpen, which Patterson did almost exclusively for the Tigers. The Tiger infield will be in with Detroit trailing 5-0. They can ill afford any more runs. And so we find Matthews, Stanley, McAuliffe, and Cash playing in, ready for Patterson to pitch to Kurt Flood. Lou Brock was looking over his shoulder as he went in third base standing up to see if he had a chance to come all the way, but with nobody out, there was little chance of Joe Schultz waving him home. And in addition, the Tiger relay was well handled.
Yes, it was. And as you say, Brock was looking over his shoulder at the second baseman, McAuliffe, out there to take that relay. And if it had been just a little bit off, you better believe he would have come on in. Kurt Flood's the hitter. Darrell Patterson, new pitcher, in relief of Joe Farmer on at third base for Lou Brock. 5-0. Cardinals over the Tigers. The first pitch, a fastball, foul straight back, strike 1. What a series Lou Brock is having. He's had 7 hits. Had 2 home runs, a triple. He has 6 stolen bases. Good fastball, swung on and missed, strike 2. Brock, 7 for 14. 0-2 is the count on Kurt Flood. The infield is in. The outfield not too deep on Kurt Flood. Fastball too high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Remember, tomorrow, the 5th game will be played right here in Tiger Stadium if we ever get this one in. We must play 5 innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kurt Flood. Roger Maris in the on-deck circle. Patterson, set. Flood, foul straight back. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you can see the respect that this pitching staff has for Lou Brock's speed. Patterson is not taking his windup. coming set. And Brock, I understand, never tries to steal home, by his own admission. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kurt Flood. And it started to rain again. And of course, the Detroit fans would like to see it downpour. Here's the pitch. Kurt Flood popped it up out in the right field. Al Kaline underneath it, tagging up at third base is Lou Brock. Here he comes, but he decides to hold up there. Kaline throws it on the money. Al Kaline just threw a line drive strike to Bill Freehan to hold Brock at third. I just wonder what would have happened if there would have been 1 out. I imagine Brock would have come in. And if he had have, I think he would have been out. That was a perfect throw by Al Kaline. Roger Maris is the hitter. It's 1 away. Brock still at third. The infielder still pulled in. The pitch to Patterson. Foul ball down the right field line. And this has been a miserable day. It is raining harder now. And I'm sure that these Cardinals would like to get out. They must play 5 innings. 1 strike on Roger Maris. Lou Brock taking a sharp lead at third base. Up another step. Patterson looks at him. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back to Maris. 2 strikes. Foul ball came back on the screen, and it came right back into Bill Freehan's hands, and the crowd gives him a nice round of applause. Third base, Brock.
Crowd cheering for rain here in Detroit, see you?
The 0-2 pitch. It's popped up. Norm Cash going over. Bill Freehan over there in front of Cash. Look out. They dropped the ball. Well, up to this point, it's not the Tigers' day. On a high pop-up, Bill Freehan and Norm Cash collide, and they drop the ball. And no one covering home plate at the time, and Brock had tagged up, and he was just about ready to come in. Still 2 strikes on Roger Maris. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. Patterson checks Brock. Fastball low and outside. Bill Freehan was given an error on that pop fly he just dropped. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Roger Maris. Patterson looks at Brock. Here's the pitch. Curveball just missed. Makes the count 2-2. 53,634 fans here today, and I believe they're all still here. Two balls, 2 strikes on Roger Maris. Bill Freehan giving the sign. Patterson, he's ready. Fastball outside. Ball 3. The Cardinals scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and they have scored 1 here in the top half of the 4th inning on Bob Gibson's home run. Yes, sir. Bob Gibson. Mickey Lolich of the Tigers hit a home run in the 2nd game in St. Louis. As a ground ball to McAuliffe, here comes Brock, and Brock with that big jump. McAuliffe started to throw home, and he saw where Brock was and just let him go, and he threw out Roger Maris at first base. So the Cardinals come up with another run. They now lead 6-0. It's 2 away, and that brings up Orlando Cepeda. And Maris gets his first run batted in the series. Cepeda. Going into this game, he was 3 for 13. He hit a home run yesterday. Today, he struck out and popped up to Norm Cash at first base. 0 for 2 today. Darrell Patterson, the pitch. Curveball on a dandy in there for call strike 1. Cepeda with that closed stance of his. That bat held high. It's low and inside. Ball 1. Darrell Patterson in relief of Joe Sparma. Fastball, too high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Sparma pitched 1/3 inning. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. Didn't strike out anyone and didn't walk anyone. The 2-1 pitch to Cepeda. Foul back, and the count remains 2-2. Jack, what do you think of this young fellow out here on the mound?
Well, he really challenges the hitters. That's obvious, and he made some real good pitches to Roger Maris. He got a bad break when the ball came up as McAuliffe was about to field it. Otherwise, Dick might have had a play at the plate on Lou Brock. He has retired both Flood and Maris. He's right with Cepeda.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Cepeda. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 3.
Fans here are doing a verbal rain dance, Stevie.
And the Cardinal players, they're standing out in front of the dugout as if it is not raining. 3-2 pitch to Cepeda. A high fastball that may have been a ball, but he went for it and fouled it straight back. 3-2 as it still rains here in the top half of the 4th inning. The Cardinals leading 6-0 in the 4th game of the World Series. They could make it 3-1 today. The Tigers have no runs on 3 hits. That pitch is high and inside. Ball 4. In to talk to Patterson and Bill Kinnaman, the umpire behind home plate, and Doug Harvey at first base. They may be thinking that they're trying to stall a little bit, and Mayo Smith is going to have something to say to Bill Kinnaman. And Mayo Smith is probably saying, "You mean to tell me my first baseman can't go in and talk to my pitcher?"
And it probably was a very simple thing, like with 2 out, he probably wanted to tell Patterson, "I'm not going to hold him on, so don't throw over there." And the Tigers don't appreciate the fact that they're not allowed even a slight conference on the mound, because as soon as Cash went to the mound, the first base umpire, Doug Harvey, followed him, and then he was joined by Bill Kinnaman at the mound. I don't blame him for getting there yet.
I don't either. Anything now that the Tigers do, it'll look like to some people that they're stalling. But he had a legitimate reason to go. There goes Cepeda. Bill Freehand did not see him go. They get him? They got him. Orlando Cepeda caught stealing. And that's all for the Cardinals here in the top half of the 4th inning. After 3.5 innings of play, St. Louis 6, Detroit nothing.
Cardinals now have a 6-0 lead as we go into the home half of the 4th inning here at Detroit. Pee Wee Reese alongside. I'm Jack Buck. It's still raining here in the ballpark. Willie Horton will lead off. Northrup and Matthews will follow. As we indicated at the outset of the game, the Tigers have hitting up and down the lineup. And they need some fireworks here in the 4th inning to get back into the contest.
Thank you, Jack. Willie Horton, the first hitter. In the series, he's 2 for 9. He has 1 home run, 1 run batted in. On the year, he batted .285, had 36 home runs. He has power. Bob Gibson's first pitch to him. A breaking pitch low and outside, ball 1. The Cardinals have 6 runs on 8 hits. They made no errors. The Tigers, no runs on 3 hits, and they've made 2 miscues. For the bottom half of the 4th inning. And it is still raining. Misty. Bob Gibson all the way for the Cardinals. Fastball high, ball 2. For the Tigers, McLain started. He went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, struck out 3 and walked 1. Farmer came on 1/3 of an inning, 2 runs, 2 hits, no strikeouts and no walks. Darrell Patterson's in there right now. Bob Gibson, 2 balls, no strikes on Willie Harton. Here's the pitch. That's ball in there. Call strike 1. Willie did not like the call. At first base for the Cardinals, Cepeda. Second base, Javier. Shortstop, Maxwell. Mike Shannon at third. Brock in left. Flood in center. Roger Maris still in right field. McCarver doing the catching, and Bob Gibson ready to pitch. Swing on it. Strike 2. And he had something on that one.
He started Horton. Has a big league pitch and a big league swing. No wonder he hits the home runs that he does. 36 during the regular season for Horton. He wants the rosin back.
Well, now, this is what I was talking about, Jack. Anytime
Wants the towel.
wants to towel. A player will do something like this. Mr. Kinnaman, the umpire, back a home plate. You're going to have something to say.
Gibson, meanwhile, glaring over into the Tiger dugout. Willie Horton went over to get a towel, and now he's in the dugout. He might be changing bats. I know not what. He's drying the business end of the bat as well as the bat handle, and now comes back out. Now, earlier, Pee-wee, oh, what the heck. You're down 2 games to 1. You're down 6-0 in the ball game. If you can get rain out, we'll get rain out.
You can't blame him, Jack. Can't blame him. I've seen umpires, though. If you do a little stalling like this, they would play in a snowstorm to get that game in, I'll tell you.
Yes, it might be reflected later on when other decisions are to be made.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Willie Harton. Bob Gibson's pitch. Foul it straight back. And the count remains 2-2. If Willie goes over to get that foul now, we may see a little action. Bottom half the 4th inning. Willie Harton, the hitter. He'll be followed by Jim Northrup and Eddie Matthews. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. So Willie Harton did take a little time, hoping that the range will come. Struck out, and that's the 5th strikeout for Bob Gibson. Jim Northrup. Fastball outside, ball 1. And one thing you can't accuse Bob Gibson of is hurrying up, because he pitches like this all the time. Ball 2. The 4th game of the 1968 World Series. Northrup taking all the way. It's in there for call strike 1. 1 away. Northrup has 1 for 12 coming in today's game. There's a foul off the left. Makes the count 2-2. Northrup today slide out to left field, so he's 1 for 13 in the series. Had a good year. Batted .264, 21 home runs, 90 wins batted in. The 2-2 pitch by Bob Gibson. Another foul off the left. Mike Shannon going over, but cannot reach it. Has to go back to the bat rack. He has just broken his bat. But I will say that he ran over there.
The center field fans are really organized here with their rain chants, see we? They're doing a good job of it. It's still raining.
1 away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jim Northrup. Bob Gibson staring down at his catcher, McCarver. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Here's the pitch. There's the ball hit hard out in the right field. That ball could be gone. It's in the upper deck. A home run for Jim Northrup. Northrup just got his second hit of the series and his first home run. Eddie Matthews takes the first pitch. It's in there for call strike one. You don't hit too many home runs off this fella.
They hit 11 off of him in over 300 innings.
Remarkable. Matthews takes the next pitch. Down outside, ball one.
Hey, we should point out that's the first Tiger run in 12 1/3 innings against Gibson in the series.
There's the ball hit hard for stage fire. It's a home run. It's a foul ball. Got a base hit his first time up and just hit a line drive in that upper deck, just missing the foul pole in right field. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's ball, too high, ball 2. I'll say it again. Eddie Matthews has not been playing lately. Certainly looks good up at that plate. The 2-2 pitch. Foul tip. Count remains 2-2. Eddie Matthews, 6 feet, 1 inch tall, 195 pounds, 36 years old. That ball outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Eddie Matthews. It's 1 away. The Tigers have finally scored a run off Bob Gibson. Here's the pitch. Down ball, out to Javier at second. Up to the ball, flips the ball over to Cepeda, and that's all for Eddie Matthews. Eddie Matthews can't say enough of this fellow. Used to be one of the fastest guys going down that first baseline you ever saw.
But I mean, that back operation did not affect his swing, but it sure looked like it affected his running speed.
Bill Freehand still out in front of that curveball. Strike 1. Swings right through the pitch. Two away. Bottom half the 4th inning. Bob Gibson. Fastball. Swung on. Foul straight back. Strike 2. Strikes on Bill Freehand. He does not have a hit in the series. Little tap foul down the third baseline. He was 0 for 9 coming in this game. And today, in the 3rd inning of the 2nd inning, he struck out. And Gibson's on top of it now. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball too high. Takes the guy 1 ball and 2 strikes as Gibson tried to get Freehand to go fishing. Cardinals 6 runs on 8 hits. The Tigers 1 run on 4 hits. The 1-2 pitch. That's foul back. One ball, 2 strikes on Freehand. Gibson's pitch. Way out in front of home plate. Freehand has the ball bounced in the dirt and wants the umpire to look at it. He does. It's all right. The count is 2-2. We have a pitcher warming up for the Tigers, Fred Lasher. Mayo Smith, if Freehand gets on, may use a pinch hitter. He went around. He struck it out. And that's all for Bill Freehand. That's all for the Tigers in the bottom half of the 4th inning. But they came up with 1 big run. The Cardinals lead after 4 innings of play. 6-1.
We're back here at Tiger Stadium. We're going to the 5th inning. The Cardinals, 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Tigers, 1 run, 4 hits, and 2 errors. One of the errors hurt, cost a run. The other did not. Tim McCarver leads off against Darrell Patterson, who pitched the 4th inning in relief of Joe Sparma. A 6-1 St. Louis lead, and here again is Pee Wee Reese.
Okay, Jack, Tim McCarver. Back up there again after he was up there in the 4th inning as Cepeda was thrown out trying to put a delayed steal on Bill Freehand. The first pitch to McCarver. Fastball too high, ball one. McCarver, 3 for 12 going into today's game with a triple and a home run, 3 runs batted in. What's he done today? 2 for 2. A single in the first inning and a triple in the third inning. Fastball high and outside, ball 2. Fred Lasher, who was warming up in the bullpen for the Tigers, is now back under cover as they're going with Darrell Patterson. Fastball just got the outside corner. Strike 1. As we told you in the last inning, with Freehan being the 8th place hitter today, if he got on there, I wouldn't have been a bit surprised that Mayo Smith would have put a pinch hitter in there. McCarver fouls one right back off to our left. The count is 2-2. I don't believe it's raining as hard now, Jack.
Well, the mist continues to fall, but we don't have the heavy rain that we had earlier.
2 balls, 2 strikes on McCarver. Darrell Patterson taking a little time, shakes his head, and he's ready. Here's the pitch. And it's foul straight back. Over our head. The count remains 2-2. Don't forget tomorrow. It could be the 5th game of the World Series right here at Tiger Stadium. Game time, 1 o'clock. We come on the air at 12:45. Hope you can be with us. Curveball just missed, and the count is 3-2. McCarver has 2 base hits, both to left field. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. There's a ball hit out to left field, but that's to be caught. Jim Northrup coming in. Willie Horton, look out. Jim Northrup called for it and takes it. So out number 1. So Darrell Patterson continues to look good for the Tigers here as they go in the top half of the 5th inning. 1 away, Mike Shannon. Having a good series. He's 6 for 14. There's a ball hit hard out in the left field. Willie Horton right there underneath it and takes it. He dropped the ball. He dropped it. And Dick Sisler at first base. Let's see what happened. The umpire out in left field. That's Jim Honachik. Said that Willie Horton had possession of the ball, but he was taking the ball out of his glove to throw it back into the infield. And Dick Sisler almost tackled Mike Shannon to get him back on the bag, but it's 2 away. Javier is the hitter. A curveball low and outside, ball 1. Say up to now, the Tigers have not looked like themselves in this series. The 1-0 pitch. Javier fouls it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like Javier on that pitch was just trying to make it out. 1 ball, 1 strike on Javier. Here's the pitch. Curveball, hit back through the middle. Mickey Stanley cannot catch up to it. Got in the center field for a base hit for Javier. So that's the first base hit for Javier today. He struck out in the first, walked in the third. That brings up Darryl Maxwell, who has not had a hit in the series. It's 2 away. He is 0 for 11. But he's done a fine job at shortstop. There goes Javier, who throws the ball to Mickey Stanley, and they tag him out. So, the Cardinals fail to score here in the top half of the 5th inning. So after 4.5 innings of play, it's the Cardinals lead 6-1. We're having a little meeting at home plate. You know why, and I know why. Now, they criticized the Tigers when Norm Cash came in to say something to the pitcher to tell him that he was going to be in back of the base runner. And Javier, on that last pitch, standing on first base, just took out for second. Of course, they threw him out at second base. And the umpires are now warning both managers not to stall.
Now we have another little item going with regard to the sleeve of Bob Gibson's undershirt. Evidently, the Tigers complained that it was flapping a little bit and distracting them. And the umpires have now made Gibson pull the sleeve up past the elbow and tighten it so as not to be a distracting factor to the hitter. Earlier, when Cepeda was thrown out, you couldn't say for sure that he did it intentionally because Orlando does do a lot of running. There was a close play at second base. But when Javier just walked off first and was thrown out trying to steal, the umpire said, well, let's put a stop to that. The Cardinals, of course, want to get this last half inning in to make it an official game. They lead in the game 6-1. The umpires do not want them to make a travesty of the contest, and they have warned both managers. Trying to read Cheney's lips down there, Pee Wee, when he's talking to the umpire, he seemed to say, well, I didn't tell Javier to go. He did it on his own, but I think he was representing the Cardinals nonetheless, don't you?
Well, he had mentioned it about Javier on a high fastball. It looked like that he was just trying to foul out. After he got himself a base hit, he just took off for second.
Well, Patterson worked 2 innings. He's being lifted now for the pinch hitter, Jim Price. Patterson worked 2 innings. He allowed no runs, 1 hit. He struck out none. He walked 1. Fred Lasher will be their 4th pitcher for the Tigers. And Jim Price leads off in the Detroit 5th inning.
Well, as we talked about, the Tigers, this game must go 5 innings. Since they're trailing, Bob Gibson's first pitch to Price is in there for call strike 1. The Tigers trail 6-1 when the bottom half of the 5th inning. If they get this inning in, it's an official game. Another fastball. Price taking in there for call strike 2. Dick McAuliffe in the on-deck circle. Gibson quickly gets on top of Jim Price, pinch hitting for Darrell Patterson, who looks good for the Tigers, as he did yesterday. Another fastball. He took all 3 of them. And Jim, you have no more. Jim Price, batting for Darrell Patterson, takes 3 fastballs. For Gibson, 7th strikeout. That brings up Dick McAuliffe. Gibson's first pitch to him. Nothing but fastball, nothing but strikes for Gibson, as he wants to get this inning in. The Cardinals in the dugout are all out on the first step, out in the rain. A curveball inside, and Gibson's unhappy with himself because he didn't throw a strike. McAuliffe having a good series. He was 5 for 13 going into today's game with 3 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and outside, ball 2. Today, he's 0 for 2. And McAuliffe wants the umpire, Bill Kinnaman, to look at it. He said it's all right. And we're ready to start. Gibson right back up on that rubber. McCarver giving his sign rather quickly. It's popped up. McCarver did not see it at first. Here he comes back. You may have heard it on top of our roof.
Really, 5 of Gibson's 7 strikeouts have come after the rain delay and resumption of play. So it's rather obvious that he didn't lose anything because of the delay, although it might tell later on.
Well, we punched holes in that, haven't we, Jack? I think you knew it anyway. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dick McAuliffe. Here's the pitch. A fastball just missed outside the full count, 3-2. One away when the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Cardinals lead 6-1 over the Tigers. Of course, the lights are on. It's raining harder. It's a dark, miserable day. He went around. Foul tip. And that's all for McAuliffe as McCarver caught the ball, and that's the 8th strikeout. or Gibson. And that brings up Mickey Stanley. Stanley, 0 for 2 today. Hopped up to the first baseman and struck out in the third inning. Gibson, fastball in there for call strike 1. Gibson, knowing that the Tigers will be taking that first pitch, still hoping for that downpour of rain. Here he is. Curveball too low. Makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Gibson kind of loosening his arm up like it may be bothering a little bit. The 1-1 pitch. Outside ball 2.
I've noticed that after the rain delay, Pee-wee, that Gibson has done that maybe half dozen times, swinging the pitching arm around between pitches. As if his throwing arm does bother him a little bit.
Gibson has given up 4 hits, 1 run, and a home run by Jim Northrup. Then 2 home runs by the Cardinals, Gibson and Lou Brock. That pitch is too low. The count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. On Stanley, he checks with his coach, Tony Cuccinello, at third base. Don't be surprised if he'll be taking this pitch, hoping to get another man up there in this 5th inning. He fouled off. He went for it. McCarver going over has no chance. And the count is 3-2. It would have to rain awfully hard from the call of the game right now before this inning ends, I'm sure. The 3-2 pitch on its way. There's a ball hit hard out into center field. Kurt Flood going back. He's underneath it and takes it for the 3rd out. And that's all for Stanley, and that's all for the Tigers in the bottom half of the 5th inning. After 5 full innings, St. Louis 6 and Detroit 1.
Into the ball game, following McLain, Farmer, and Patterson to the mound, is Fred Lasher, who's making his first series appearance. His right-hander is 6'4", 215-pounder from Janesville, Wisconsin. And it'll be Maxwell, Gibson, and Brock in the Cardinals' 6th inning. The drizzle continues to stay with us. It would appear, Pee-wee, that the remainder of this ball game might be played in this very weather we are enjoying right now.
Well, Jack, I'm afraid if it doesn't rain any harder than this, we may keep playing, too. It's going to have to rain a little bit harder than it is right now for these umpires to call this ball game. It's an official ball game, as Jack told you. The Cardinals lead 6-1. Dow Maxwell is the hitter. He'll be followed by Bob Gibson and Lou Brock. Fred Lasher, the new pitcher for the Tigers. He's a submarine pitcher. Fastball. Foul. Straight back, strike 1. Maxwell, who does not have a hit in this series, has hit the ball pretty hard.
Last time up, Pee-wee, well-hit ball at McCullough.
McLain started for the Tigers. Then Farmer, Patterson, and now Fred Lasher. Ball in there for call strike 2. McLain went only 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4 runs. On 6 hits, struck out 3 and walked 1. Farmer went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, didn't strike out anyone and didn't walk anyone. Started, checked his swing, Maxwell did. The pitch was a little too high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Patterson looked real sharp. He went 2 innings. Didn't give up a run, only 1 hit. Walked 1 man, didn't strike out anyone.
They just call ball 2 because Lasher put his fingers to his mouth. Makes it a 2-2 count.
He didn't have to put his fingers to his mouth today. He just hold the ball out. It'll get wet. 2-2 is the count as he struck out Dow Maxwell. Here leading off the top half of the 6th inning. That's the first strikeout for Lasher. And the third. The 4th in the game for the Cardinals. Bob Gibson, the hitter. He hit a home run his last time up in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. It's a little lazy looper down the third baseline. Lasher throws to first, and they get Bob Gibson. A good play by Fred Lasher. That ball was popped down the third baseline. Eddie Matthews came in. Lasher picked the ball up barehanded. The only chance he had if he did pick it up barehanded. And threw Gibson out going down the first baseline. So it's 2 away. And that brings up Mr. Brock. Home run in the first inning. Then grounded out in the second. He tripled in the fourth. 2 for 3. 7 for 14 in the series. 2 away. Lasher's first pitch to him. Ball hit out the shortstop. Stanley up with the ball. Over to Norm Cash, and that ball for Lou Brock. And the Cardinals went down 1, 2, 3. So after 5.5 innings of play, St. Louis still 6, and Detroit still 1.
As we continue here at Tiger Stadium and go into the Detroit 6th inning, some dry sand is being spread around the home plate area and the area of the pitching mound as Bob Gibson gets ready to pitch to Kaline Cash and Horton. If anybody gets down, Northrup will come up. Northrup has provided the only Tiger run with a homer. He came in the fourth. The Tigers have 1 run on 4 hits. They've made 2 errors. The Cardinals 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. St. Louis has 2 home runs. Brock to start the game, and Gibson with the bases empty in the 4th inning. Tomorrow, game time again will be 1 o'clock and broadcast time 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Riles and Lolich. We'll mix it up tomorrow, and Mickey Lolich, the Tiger left-hander, got much the better of it last Thursday afternoon in St. Louis. And he really impressed the Cardinal hitters, Pee Wee, with his fine slider.
Yes, I was talking to Mayo about it this morning, and he was very much impressed the way Lolich pitched. And I would say that he better pitch well tomorrow, or it will be all over with, it looks like. He did have a very good breaking ball. Nelson Bowles will be going for the Cardinals. And the infield, the pitcher's mound, and around home plate is getting a little bit damp. Got a big kick out of McCarver there as one of the groundskeeper was throwing sand around home plate. He acted as if he was going to throw the sand on McCarver, and McCarver jumped back. Fans got a big laugh out of it. Al Kaline gets a nice hand. The first pitch for Gibson's low, ball 1. The Tigers have 4 hits, and this fellow right here has 2 of them. A double in the first and a single in the third. Fowler straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike on Al Kaline. Al Kaline has played in 2,095 American League games for the Tigers. Ball is too low. Ball 2. And that's 4th in Tiger history, right behind fellows like Ty Cobb, Charlie Gehringer, and Sam Crawford. He is the all-time Tiger home run leader with 314. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Kaline drying his bat off. Kaline hit .368 from August 22nd until the end of the season. Came in this series with a hot bat. Line drive right at Maxwell. He had 2 for 2 and he hit that one, went on the nose. Had a great series, Al has. And this brings up Norm Cash. Norm Cash. What's he done today? He struck out and popped up. 0 for 2. In the series, Norm was 3 for 12 coming into today's game. He has 1 home run. 1 run batted in. 1 ball, no strikes on him. McCarver give him the sign. Gibson. That ball's popped up. Down at third base in fair territory. Mike Shannon underneath it and takes it for out number 3. Gibson just sailing along now. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Willie Harton. He's walked and struck out. He's 2 for 10. real good riffle. And a low breaking pitch, but no contact. One strike on him, 2 away. Willie Harton's ready, and so is Bob Gibson. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. Gibson is the only pitcher in series history who has pitched 6 consecutive complete game victories. Looking for his 7th inning. He looks good right now. And Harton swung right through a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Willie Harton. I would say that this fellow would have to be one of the real fine competitors in sports. Bob Gibson. The ball is popped up. McCarver yanks at Maskoff. Here he comes back. On the screen. In the 7 games that Gibson has pitched in, here's how his strikeouts have gone. 9 in the first, 13, then 9, then 10, then 6, then 10, then 17. In the first game over in St. Louis to set an all-time series record. He started, Willie Harton did, and checked his swing. It's 2-2. The 10-2 pitch. He struck him out. And that's the 9th strikeout for Bob Gibson, and that's all for the Tigers in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And the score after 6 full innings, St. Louis 6, Detroit 1. We're going in the top half of the 7th inning. Curt Flood will be the first hitter. He'll be followed by Roger Maris and Orlando Cepeda. And Jack Buck, you sure you want me to do these next 3 innings? Jack, I've never talked so much.
We've been on the air for about 4 hours, Pee-wee.
Well, Jack, it's a pleasure working with you, so come on back in here.
Okay, Pee, we've gone to the late stages of the game, the 7th inning. Cardinals 6-9-0, Detroit 1-4-2, and Flood leads off 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. He's had 5 out of 14 in the series. The right-handed batter facing Fred Lasher, the right-hander who pitched a perfect 6th inning. He delivers and a swing and a miss on the submarine-type pitch, which reminds us of Ted Abernathy of the Cincinnati Ball Club. Very few with the pitching style employed by Lasher, who's the 4th Detroit hurler of the day. A pitch coming, and Flood takes it high. That was a fastball, 1-1. The Cardinals scored 2 in the first. Brock homered. Shannon drove in the other run. In the second, RBIs by McCarver and Shannon made it 4-0. Gibson drove in a run with a home run in the 4th. Flood swings and pops it up in the infield. That'll be the first out of the 7th inning. Mickey Stanley, the shortstop, at the edge of the grass, makes the catch for the out. After Gibson hit the home run in the 4th, an infield out by Maris made the score 6-0, and Jim Northrup homered in the 4th for the only Tiger run. K-Line has 2 hits, Northrup 1, and the other, Eddie Matthews. Maris bats with the bases empty and 1 out. Strike call as Lasher gets out in front, and Fred is retired 4 men in a row. Maris is 0 for 3. He scored a run after reaching on an error, and he drove in a run with an infield out. Left-handed batter takes the pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield about straight away for Maris. The pitch on the way from Lasher, and it swung on and popped up in the infield into short center. McAuliffe goes out and calls for it. Northrup comes in, but McAuliffe makes the catch, and there are 2 out. And now Lasher has retired 5 men in a row. And the young man from Janesville, Wisconsin, making his first series appearance, has been impressive. There are 2 out, and the batter is Cepeda. Orlando's 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out, fouled out, walked, was out stealing, and the pitch comes to him. It's a strike called, and Lasher is playing good stuff here today. Still raining, very dark, lights on, as they have been throughout the game. The next one is over but low, and it's 1-1. Cepeda, who got his first World Series homer ever, here yesterday with 2 men on, is at the plate with the bases empty now. The 1-1 delivery on the way. swung on, and a base hit in the left through the hole past Stanley. And Cepeda gets his first hit of the day and the Cardinals' 10th hit of the afternoon. Lasher had set down 5 in a row before Cepeda got the hit that brings up McCarver. McCarver was 2 out of 3. A run scored, a run batted in. Is 5 out of 15 for the series. And he has caught each of the games, as has Bill Freehan of the Tigers. 6-1, St. Louis leading, 7th inning. Cepeda with the lead. And the pitch to McCarver is outside. Dropped by Freehan, but no play as Cepeda did not go. Norm Cash at first base is playing behind the runner. Lasher gets set and delivers. McCarver takes it outside, and that's ball 2. Cepeda will not hesitate to steal. And though he was thrown out stealing in the 4th inning, it wouldn't be surprising to see him go again as Lasher's paying little attention to him. Cash playing behind the runner. The pitch. Swing and a miss by McCarver. And 2-0, a swinging strike. This year, Cepeda stole 8 bases. Last year, he swiped 11. So he'll fool you on those base paths. The pitch to McCarver swung on and popped up. So Lasher will be out of this inning. McAuliffe calls for it. Now Northrup from center field comes in and makes the catch. McCarver flied to center. The Cardinals leave a man on. 7th inning stretch time at Tiger Stadium. The score, St. Louis 6, Detroit 1. Bob Gibson goes to the mound. He has retired 8 men in a row. He'll take on Northrup, Matthews, and Freehan, with Fred Lasher due to bat 4th in the inning. And John Hiller, a left-hander, starts to warm up in the Tiger bullpen. A few fans have left, Pee-wee. Good many more braving the elements, sticking it out in a 6-1 Cardinal lead in the 7th inning.
Well, I would say, Jack, that it's been remarkable that the fans, especially the ones sitting out there in the rain, to stay with it this long. But talking about fans, this is a great town, Jack. It's a great sports town. It drew over 2 million people here this year. And it's always great to see a town like Detroit win a pennant, and they certainly deserve it.
Gibson pitching to Northrup. Swung on and grounded to first. A big hop to Cepeda, an unassisted out. 1 gone in the Tigers' 7th. Northrup, who has provided the only Tiger run with a homer in the 4th inning, jumped on the first one and grounded to Cepeda. And Gibson has retired 9 men in a row. The batter, Eddie Matthews, who has one of the 4 Detroit hits. He singled in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. A left-handed batter playing third base today. And the ball. In the late stages of his career, we saw Matthews play the outfield and first base as well. He's had a great career. The pitch coming, the left-handed batter takes it outside, ball 2. In the ball game, Bob Gibson has fanned 9 and walked 1. Allowed 4 hits. 6-1, St. Louis leading, 7th inning. And the ball low, ball 3. Eddie Matthews with a 3-0 count. Ball 4, he's on. Gibson has walked his second man, and the Tiger fans cheer. Carver talked about that pitch with the plate umpire. The batter is Bill Freehan, who is 0 for 11. Freehan, who batted .263 during the season, looking for his first hit in the series. In there, a breaking ball. Snyder caught the corner, strike call. Freehan gave up on that ball. Gibson caught the strike zone. Well, if Freehan gets down here, you'll hear some noise. The Tigers trail 6-1, the pitch coming. Swung on and missed, strike 2. He's fanned twice in the ballgame. No pinch hitter has emerged from the Tiger dugout as yet. Pitcher Lasher is due next. Matthews at first, 1 out. Seventh inning, 6-1 Cardinals. Gibson delivers and freehand. Takes strike, called, and he's out of there. It's the third time today that Bill Freehand is fanned, and he's 0 for 12 in the series. Two men out in the inning, and the batter is Tom Magic, a left-handed hitter, an infielder who used to belong to the Cardinal organization. Comes up to hit with 2 men out. In the series, Tom is 0 for 2. Both times as pinch hitters. Matthews at first with 2 men out. Left-handed batter, they play him straight away, and Gibson delivers, and Magic takes a ball outside. Earlier today, pinch hitter Jim Price was unsuccessful. And this means that the Tigers will use 5 pitchers today as they did yesterday. Strike called. Slider caught the outside edge. 1-1 to the pinch hitter, Tom Magic. M-A-T-C-H-I-K, Tom Magic. He swings. Fly ball behind short. Flood coming in under the ball. That will end the 7th. He has it. The 7th inning is over. The Tigers leave a man on. At the end of 7 innings, St. Louis 6 and Detroit 1. We're going into the 8th inning of the ball game. Cardinals leading 6-1, and we pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Pee-wee Reese along with Jack Buck at Tiger Stadium. We're going in the top half of the 8th inning. We have a new pitcher. His name is John Hiller. He pitched 2 innings yesterday. Didn't give up a run. He gave 4 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 1. And the first hitter he'll be facing will be Mike Shannon. Come on in, Jack.
Thank you, Pee-wee. A 9-6 record for Hiller this year with an earned run average of 2.39. He's the 5th Tiger hurler, and he faces Mike Shannon, a right-handed batter. The lefty throws. There's a ground ball to third. Fair ball to Matthews. A long throw. Low. Safe at first as Cash couldn't come up with the ball. Eddie Matthews threw low to Norm Cash, who's usually very adept at coming up with those low throws, but he couldn't make connections on this one. And let's see how they rule it. It'll have to be an error for the third baseman. An error Matthews. We mentioned earlier that Matthews has not been playing much.
No, he hasn't, of course, and when he picks up that ball right now, as wet as that grass is, I bet it's a little hard to control. And it was not an easy play. He had a long throw, had to get something on the ball. Looked like the ball just kind of ducked on him. Tough play for Cash.
The batter is Javier. He got a base hit against Hiller in the ball game yesterday. Another right-handed batter, swing and a miss, strike 1. He was going for the long one that time. It's cleared a bit compared to what it was weather-wise a while ago. Shannon on at first, top of the 8th. The score is 6-1, St. Louis over Detroit. Cardinals trying to make it a 3-1 edge in the series. The 2 teams will play here again tomorrow with Mickey Lolich going against Nelson Briles. Hiller delivers, and out of the air swings and courts one into the corner, and it curves. Fair ball into the corner for extra bases. Shannon heads for third, out of the air for second, and they stay there with nobody out. That ball hit the chalk out in the left field corner with the American League umpire, Jim Honachek, right on top of the play. There was no doubt about the call.
I would say we have enough umpires out here, Jack. We should not miss too many calls. The umpire was right out there on the play.
Javier thus gets his second hit. There's a single and a double today, and he has 6 out of 14 in the series. The batter is Maxville, 0 for 3. Tiger infield has to play in. Nobody out. Shannon at third, Javier at second. Hiller will work off the stretch. Pitches. Curveball, and it's a little bit low, ball 1. We're in the 8th inning, and the Cardinals lead 6-1 and threaten to do more damage. Maxwell the batter, then Gibson, then Brock with these runners at second and third. Hiller served up another, and a curve goes low again, and that's ball 2. We're in the 8th, and the Cardinals lead 6-1. They have runners at second and third. Nobody out. The base hit by Javier was the 11th Cardinal hit of the day. The Tigers have 4. Pat Dobson, a right-hander, in the bullpen for Detroit. Maxville takes a curve in there, called strike.
Jack, talking about Javier against left-handers, you tell me how well he hit him. I believe you. He hits nothing but line drives.
He's .252 for the season and about .350 against left-handed pitching. Maxwell takes a high fastball. The count goes to 3-1, and Hiller is about to load them up. To Maxwell. With the pitcher coming up next, Maxwell will be swinging if it's in there. Hiller is ready. Fires high, ball 4. The bases are loaded to an error. A double and a walk have loaded the bases. Dale Smith, poised on the top step of the dugout, has Pat Dobson in the bullpen. Makes no move. And Gibson, who homered back in the 4th inning, comes up with the bases loaded and nobody out, hitting against the left-hander, John Hiller. The crowd reacts to Gibson's plate appearance. He's allowed only 1 run to the Tigers in 16 innings of series play. Infield back now. They'll go for 2. Shannon at third, Javier at second, Maxwell at first, nobody out, off the stretch, the pitch to Gibson. Fastball, strike call at the letters. An error by Matthews allowed Shannon to get aboard. Javier doubled and Maxwell walked. The pitch is on the way to Gibson. Swung on and missed, and that is strike 2. Hiller could really use the strikeout here or the pop-up, and then have a good chance of getting out of the inning against the left-handed batter, Brock. Play Gibson to pull. He homered into the upper deck back in the 4th inning. And now he swings and fouls it out of play. It's still a strike 2 count. Working on a new baseball. The Cardinals have been given 3 walks today, 1 in this inning. The pitch to Gibson. Curve. Stays high. 1-2. In this ball game, 4 runs off McLain, 2 off of Sparma. Patterson and Lasher work scoreless innings. Now Hiller to Gibson. High again with a fastball, 2-2. Way out in front of Gibson. And now it's a 2-2 count. Pat Dobson in the Tiger bullpen. With the bases loaded and nobody out, the pitch is on the way, and a foul back, and a good fastball and a good Gibson cut. Keeps the count at 2-2. It's clearer now than at any time in the past 3 hours or so here in this ballpark. The rain has stopped. Gibson trying to add to his lead of 6-1. Waits, takes, high outside, ball 3, full count, 3-2 with the bases loaded, and Hiller is in deep trouble. Third, Javier at second, Maxwell at first, nobody out, and a 3-2 count on the batter. Gibson digging in and waiting. The left-hander delivers. Ball 4, and it forces home a run. Gibson gets a run batted in on the base on balls. Shannon, who reached on an error, scores. That makes the score 7-1. The base is still loaded, nobody out, and Brock's the batter. Shannon has scored. Javier goes to third. Maxwell is second. Gibson on at first. And because Hiller is a left-hander, he stays in to pitch to Brock.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Jack. We were looking for Mayo Smith to see if he's going to make his move, but you can understand why. He wants Hiller to pitch to Lou Brock. I imagine if there's a right-handed hitter up there, he would have come on with Pat Dobson.
Brock started the game with a homer, grounded out, tripled and scored, and grounded out again. He's 2 for 4 and has 7 out of 15 for the series. The first one to him is low for a ball. Hiller, who just walked Gibson, gets behind Brock, and now Matthews from third goes in to try to steady the hurler. surprised to see Hiller working off the stretch rather than the full windup. But he continues to do so. Looks in and gets the sign from Freehand. It's 7-1 now. The Cardinals lead in the 8th inning. The pitch is on the way, and Brock takes a curve. It's low again, and that's ball 2. Hiller wanted that call, but didn't get it. 2-0.
Hiller may be thinking that he's having a little control problem here, walking 2 men in a row. They may have better control, just holding the runners on and not taking his windup. But he's still having trouble getting the ball over.
The pitch to Brock, swung on and a long fly ball to deep center. Northrup got a late jump, and the ball is over his head and to the wall, and will clear the bases. 1 run home, 2 runs home. Here comes Gibson. The throw is not made. Gibson scores. Brock goes back to second, and 3 runs are home. Brock had chased Gibson off of third base, and then ran back to second base when he thought that Gibson was not going to try to score. And Brock has a 3-run double, his 3rd hit of the day. And now, 4 runs have scored, and it is 10-1 in the ball game.
Well, Jack, you could see that it looked like that Gibson could make it. But Joe Schultz, the coach at third base, knowing what the score was, and Gibson was running real hard. And right at the last minute, he decided to hold up Gibson, and Brock, with his speed, was gaining a little bit on Gibson. He was almost to third, and when he saw Schultz hold up Gibson, Brock went back to second. Then Gibson decided to go home, and Brock was already back at second.
You're right, Pee Wee. Gibson ran right through the sign of Joe Schultz coaching at third. Brock also saw the sign as Schultz tried to hold Gibson up. So Brock, who would have easily made it to third base, went back to second, had to settle for a double. 4 runs are home in the inning. The scoreboard says only 3 runs are home. But 4 runs are scored, and it's 10-1 here in the 8th inning. And John Hiller is out of the ball game. He didn't retire a man here in this, his first inning of work. So without pitching any innings, he has already allowed 4 runs and leaves the man at second. Only 2 hits. No strikeouts, of course. He walked 2. The errors started the inning. And into the ball game is Pat Dobson, and he is the 6th Tiger hurler of the day. He had a 5-8 record during the year and a 2.66 earned run average. Pat Dobson follows McLain, Sparma, Patterson, Blasher, and Hiller to the mound, and he will pitch to Curt Flood with Brock at second, nobody out, and a 10-1 Cardinal lead in the 8th inning.
Looks to me like the Tigers do not have too many more pitchers left in their bullpen.
In the bullpen is John Warden. The left-hander starts to warm up. I mentioned when Brock hit the ball that Northrup got a late jump on it. Do you think that he picked the ball up right away, he might have caught it?
No, I don't. I don't believe he could have caught it. That ball was hit and hit hard. And it was hit on a line drive. It was right directly over Northrup's head, and I can see why he had a little trouble getting a good jump on it. It was right at him. That ball was tough to pick up.
The batter is Flood. He's 1 for 4 in the ballgame. Brock at second, nobody out. The score 10-1 in the 8th inning. The pitch on the way from Dobson to Flood. Brock trying to steal. A strike call, and Brock is safe at third base. He stole the base, and Matthews argues about it. With the third base umpire, Tom Gorman, and Nail Smith comes out to join in. Freehand made a great throw. Brock and the ball arrived at the same time, and Brock got the call, and he has now stolen 7 bases in the series to equal his record of last year.
Well, Jack, this is what Mickey Lolich was talking about of the Tigers, and he called it a bush trick that Brock does steal when he's 7 runs behind or 7 runs ahead. It's 10-1, and he stole third, but that's the type of ball that Brock likes to play, and that's what he's going to do. You may as well get ready for it. Curt Flood is a hitter. 1 strike on him. Brock is on at third. And the Cardinals have 4 runs here.
Now Flood takes the ball low. Lou Brock has now stolen 14 bases in series play. And so he ties Eddie Collins' all-time World Series record. He has now swiped 7 and equaled his own record established last year. The infield is in with Brock at third, nobody out, and Kurt Flood swings and grounds it to Matthews. It's a fair ball to throw to first, and Flood. Well, is it fair or foul? Foul ball. Foul ball, they said. Now Tom Gorman wants to talk to the first base umpire. And then manager Mayo Smith came out of the dugout. Flood is out. It was a fair ball, and Flood is out 5-3. The Cardinals won't argue much about it, the score being what it is. Flood looked down at the third base umpire, who indicated to Flood that the ball was foul, so he didn't run, and the next thing he knows, he's out.
Now then, Flood is having something to say. The umpire behind home plate, Bill Kinnaman, because as you said, when he was running to first, he saw the umpire at third. Tom Gorman called the ball foul, so he stopped. And if he had not have stopped, Matthews had no way of throwing him out, because when Brock went back into third, he completely blocked Eddie Matthews out from throwing the ball.
So there's one out here in the eighth inning, and Roger Maris at the plate, looking for his first hit of the day. He is 1 for 10 in the series, facing the right-hander Gibson, who pitches. Breaking ball goes inside. Brock returned to third base on the ground ball to Matthews, hit by Flood, and Brock was on the bag, and he and Matthews were all tangled up. Matthews made the throw, which bounced over to first, and still got Flood, who had stopped running. The stretch, the pitch to Maris. Swung on base. Oh, line drive, and a great play by McAuliffe. McAuliffe made the play of the series thus far as he steered a line drive off the bat of Maris to keep Brock at third. There are 2 out.
Well, Jack, we've seen a lot of home runs in this series and seen balls that hit real hard. But I guarantee you there was no ball in this series hit any harder than the one that Roger Maris just hit to Dick McAuliffe at second base at each stab.
McAuliffe was playing in, as we mentioned, to try to cut the runner down at the plate. He had very little time to react. Caught the ball in the webbing of the glove for the second out. The batter is Cepeda. Brock at third, 2 out. And Dobson has done a good job of keeping them there. The pitch stays up and inside to Cepeda, ball 1. It's a 10-1 ball game. Here in the top half of the eighth inning, the Cardinals 10 runs on 12 hits. Tigers 1 run on 4 hits. Cepeda has the hit today, 1 for 3. Dobson from the belt. Pitches. Curveball fouled back. Out of play, and that makes it 1-1. Cepeda is the 8th man to bat for the Cardinals in the 8th inning. John Hiller was on the mound when the inning started, and a brute got things underway for the Cardinals. Javier doubled, Maxwell walked, Gibson walked, and Brock doubled with the bases loaded. Dobson came in. He has retired Flood and Maris, and he's working on Cepeda. The pitch on the way, and Orlando swings and misses a high fastball. 1-2. Scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 4 here in the 8th. Tigers got their only run in the 4th inning on a homer by Jim Northrup. Brock at third, 2 out. Cepeda ducks the pitch over his head, 2-2. Quite a few of the fans have left the premises here, notably those in the upper deck who are exposed to the rain. And another just left. The pitch to Cepeda. A little bit outside. Full count, 3-2 now on the Cardinal hitter. Cepeda wants the rosin bag. It's been a long day. 4 hours and 9 minutes have gone by from the originally scheduled starting time here after a 3-hour game yesterday. 2 on Cepeda. Pat Dobson, the 6th Tiger hurler, pitches. Ground ball to first. Cash knocks it down. The pitcher covers, and he is out at first. The inning is over. A good play by Cash on a hard hit ball by Cepeda. Dobson covered, made the play. The Cardinals score 4 times. The Tigers come to bat in their 8th inning, and St. Louis leads in the ball game over Detroit 10-1.
Bottom half the 8th inning at Tiger Stadium. Pee Wee Reese along with Jack Buck, bringing you today's game. It looks to me like the Cardinals will be leading in a series after today 3-1. The 5th game will be played tomorrow here. Nelson Brow against Mickey Lowley. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Cardinals lead by a score of 10-1. They have 10 runs on 12 hits and made no errors. The Tigers have 1 run on 4 hits, and they've made 3 miscues. Dick McAuliffe, the first hitter for the Tigers here in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
McAuliffe started the day with 5 hits. He's been blanked. He's 0 for 3. He's fanned twice against Gibson. The left-handed batter waits. A ground ball to the right side. Javier has it. Throws to first. McAuliffe is 0 for 4, and there's 1 gone in the Tiger 8th inning. Javier throws out his Tiger counterpart, Dick McAuliffe. The hitter, Mickey Stanley. He's 0 for 3. You're probably aware of the series mark established by Gibson in the opening game. The only pitcher in series history who has pitched 6 consecutive complete game victories. He's trying for number 7 here today, ball 1. Here today and tonight, I might add. With 1 out, Mickey Stanley waits. Takes low, ball 2. Al Kaline will bat next. The score is 10-1. We're in the Tiger 8th inning. The Cardinals out in front. The pitch is a strike call. And if the Cardinals win this one, they'll be trying to nail down the series behind Nelson Briles tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and Mickey Lolich will attempt to avert the end of the series as of tomorrow. Stanley swings, and there's a shot to left. Brock is on the run and screws the ball with 1 hand. Lou Brock got a good jump and made an easy catch once he got there on a well-hit ball by Stanley, who has lined out twice today and is 0 for 4, and Kaline bats with the bases empty. Kaline has had 2 of the 4 Tiger hits, and the crowd gives him a big hand. Strike call. The last time up, trying for his 3rd hit, Al lined out to the shortstop. So he's been zeroed in on Gibson. High with the ball, 1-1. We're in the 8th inning. The pitch coming, and Kaline swings, grounds it to short. Big hop to Maxville, long throw. Good throw, the inning is over. Down in order go the Tigers in the 8th inning, and at the end of 8, the score is St. Louis 10 and Detroit 1.
Going to the top half of the 9th inning.
Get up, Tigers!
The Cardinals leading in this game. The 4th game of the World Series by a score of 10-1. Pat Dobson on the mound for the Tigers, and he is the 6th pitcher for the Tigers. He'll be facing Tim McCarver here, leading things off in the 9th inning. To tell you all about it, Jack Buck.
Okay, Pee Wee, thank you. 9th inning it is, and it's McCarver leading off. Shannon and Javier will follow against Pat Dobson. Dobson retired, the only 3 men he has faced in the game. McCarver has a single and a double. He's 2 for 4. And the pitch is the ball outside, and the 9th inning is underway. Cardinals 10 runs on 12 hits. No errors. And for Detroit, 1 run, 4 hits, and 3 boots. And 2 of them hurt. The next delivery to McCarver. Swung on, broken bat, base hit into left center field. McCarver gets his 3rd hit of the day, and now the center fielder fumbles the ball, and Tim goes for second, and he makes it. Northrup didn't make connections with the ball, and they'll charge him with a miscue as McCarver takes the extra base. It is an error charged to Northrup. So we had an error by McLain, one by Freehand, another by Matthews, and one by the center fielder Northrup. And the batter is Shannon with a runner at second and nobody out. Mike has 2 for 4 in the game, a single, a double, 2 RBIs. Right-handed batter facing the right-hander, Pat Dobson. The pitch is on the way, and Shannon swings and grounds it to short. McCarver stays at second, and Stanley throws in time to get the runner. Stanley threw low, but Cash had to come up with it again, and he did. And McCarver stayed at second base. Pee-wee, if we may be allowed to editorialize, I wouldn't be surprised next spring in Lakeland to see Mickey Stanley in center field.
Jack, you could be right. I've seen Mickey Stanley play center field quite a bit this year, and I don't believe there's any better, really.
You have to admire his fortitude to try that shortstop spot in the World Series. He's done a worthwhile job. He's gotten it done. The pitch to Javier is low for a ball.
Well, Mayo Smith decided to put him out there, and Stanley put it to Mayo this way. He said, Mayo, if you have enough guts to put me out there, I have enough guts to play it. And he has that, both of them.
Javier, the batter, with a runner at second base and 1 out. We're in the top of the 9th inning. St. Louis leading. They've led throughout. The score is 10-1. Javier has 2 hits in the game. McCarver, a short lead. Curveball goes low to the hitter. Ball 2. Lou Brock has 3 hits, a double, a triple, and a home run. Flood has a single. Maris has the collar, 1 hit for Cepeda. McCarver, 2 singles and a triple. Shannon, a single and a double. Javier, a single and a double. Maxwell has been shut out, and Bob Gibson has hit a home run. For Detroit, Jim Northrup with a home run in the 4th inning. The Tigers' only run. Javier swings and a high fly ball to center. Jim Northrup will catch that one for the 2nd out. McCarver is halfway. There's the catch, and McCarver back to second. 2 men out. The batter, Maxwell. Maxwell is 0 for 3 and 0 for 12. He walked his last time up. Right-handed batter facing Pat Dobson. Cardinals haven't crossed the plate against Dobson. The pitch on the way. Dal swings, fly ball, center field. Northrup comes in and grabs the ball for the out to end the Cardinal 9th inning. The Cardinals lead 1. They've stranded 7. The Tigers come to bat in their 9th, and the score is St. Louis 10 and Detroit 1.
Bottom half the 9th inning. The last chance, the last hope for the Tigers. And the fellow that's been stopping them all day was a little late getting to the mound, Bob Gibson. And the score. The Tigers only have to come up with 9 runs to tie this ball game and 10 to win it. It's possible, but not probable. The Cardinals have 10 runs on 13 hits, have not made a mistake. The Tigers have 1 run on 4 hits, and they've made 4 miscues. Norm Cash is the first hitter. And now Jack Buck.
Okay, Pee-wee, and the Tigers have a substantial group of rooters who have stayed on out in center field and rooting for the Tigers to come up with 9 in the 9th and tie. The score 10-1. Cash will lead off. Never in the ball game since the 2nd inning have the Tigers had more than 1 man on base. Evidently, well, here's the pitch to Norm Cash. Ball 1. The lights have been turned on in the television booth, and the umpires asked that they be turned out. Bottom of the 9th. Norm Cash leading off. The pitch from Gibson fouled back, and the count evens 1-1. Gibson trying for his 7th complete game series victory. Trying for his 2nd in this particular series. There's a base hit to right by Cash. Norm Cash gets his 4th hit of the series. A line single to right to start the 9th inning, and brings up Willie Horton. Horton is the ball, and a good play by McCarver to prevent a wild pitch. Runner at first base, Norm Cash. Nobody out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Nothing doing in the Cardinal bullpen. Ball on the count to Willie Horton, who has fanned twice and walked once. He swings and fouls it off the chest protector of the umpire. Now Ron Willis trots down to the Cardinal bullpen. And the right-hander is going to warm up. A ball and a strike to Horton. Outfield playing way around to the left for him. Gibson checks the runner, Cash, and pitches, and Horton takes the ball outside. We've been with you for 4 hours and 40 minutes from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. And it's still not over. Here's the pitch to Horton. Swung on. Pop fly. Brock playing deep, has to come in. Flood too. They're both there, and Flood makes the catch. Flood makes the catch in left center with Brock flashing across in front of him. 1 out. Is 0 for 3. The batter Northrup, who has provided the Tigers with their only run, a fourth inning homer. Jim flied to left, hit a home run in the fourth, and grounded out in the seventh inning. A left-handed batter, the pitch coming. He chased the bad ball low, swing and a miss, strike one. The base hit by Norm Cash was his first, and the Tigers' fifth. Ground ball to Cepeda again. He steps on first, throws to second. Double play with Maxwell making the final tag on Cash, and the ball game is over. A 3-6 double play, and the final score of the ball game is the St. Louis Cardinals 10 and the Detroit Tigers 1. And the Cardinals totals were 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. The Cardinals left 7 with Gibson the winner, and the Tiger totals 1 run, 5 hits, and 4 errors with McLain the loser, and the Tigers left 5 men on. And so the Cardinals now have the advantage in the series, 3 games to 1. We'll try to end it here at Tiger Stadium, Detroit, tomorrow behind Nelson Briles and Mickey Lulich will try to avert that happening in a game that will start at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, broadcast time at 12:45. So 10-13-0 Cardinals, 1-5-4 Detroit, and we'll be back with more after this message. With Perry Reese alongside, I'm Jack Buck, and we saw Lou Brock start this game with a homer. The Cardinals scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 4 in the 8th inning. Detroit's only run, the Northrup homer in the 4th inning. And the heroes are many for St. Louis. Pee-wee Brock with a double, a triple, a home run, 4 runs batted into the game.
Well, of course, there were a lot of heroes for the St. Louis Cardinals. But to me, it was just too much Bob Gibson, Jack. And he, again, has showed me that he's one of the greatest pitchers I've ever seen. And although that this game took this long, this fellow kept throwing just about as hard as he did at the end of the game as he did when he started. Just too much, Jack.
He broke his own record. He has now pitched 7 consecutive complete game World Series victories. And with the Cardinals leading 3 games to 1, Lulich against Briles in the contest tomorrow afternoon.